Two Rivers Talks is brought to you by Two Rivers Biz Starts. Also by Two Rivers Main Street. And by Raleigh Point Economic Advising. And by viewers like you. Thank you.
Welcome to Two Rivers Talks, our next installment with Todd and
Darla.
Hey everybody. Nice to see you all out there in YouTube land and Facebook land. Appreciate all the likes and the follows and for sharing it. Everybody's been really terrific.
Oh yeah.
About spreading the word about our humble little video podcast. But we're glad you're with us. We've got an exciting, packed show today. For those of you who are here for the first time, Two Rivers Talks is all about the arts, news, fun, music scene, business world, everything that's happening in our little corner of Manitowoc County in Two Rivers. And we're glad you've joined us. We've got a couple of really interesting things going on today. Want to tell them a little bit about our first guest?
Certainly. In today's episode, we'll be talking with Mr. Jason Prigge of the popular Coolest Coast podcast. And I'm excited about that because he captures a lot of the events that go on in Manitowoc County.
He does. He's absolutely great. And then we've also got some footage of a local band,
right?
Four Shades of Grey, recorded this winter at the Two Rivers Pub,
right?
Which is going to be amazing.
They're fun. They're a lot of fun.
And then with any luck, we may be hearing from Mr. Roger Russove today.
I hope so.
From Main Street Minute. He's a little late for us. We'll give him a hard time for that. But hopefully we'll be able to schedule him before the next episode goes out.
Absolutely.
All right.
And so in the news, you want to kick that off?
Yeah, kicking off the news. So the Lakeshore All Sports Hall of Fame class of 2019 enshrinees include, so this was an announcement from Chairman Keith Bond, announcing the new inductees, which includes, and apologies to begin with if we get anybody's name pronounced incorrectly.
The last one's going to be a bear.
I'm going to leave that one for you.
Thank you very much.
So first of all is Tom Aiello.
Right. Bob Levy.
Mike Quistorf.
Terry Risch.
John Schultz and
Jacques Verbaweed.
Okay.
I don't know.
We apologize, Jacques. In any case, the ceremony is going to be scheduled for the evening of Wednesday, April the 24th at the Manitowoc Holiday Inn. There will be a guest speaker, Lance Allen from WTMJ4 sports anchor in Milwaukee.
Right. Also, in the galley cooking classes, this is an event that will be brought to everyone by the Wisconsin Maritime Museum. It is to be held at Grow It Forward on Marshall Street in Manitowoc. 3 dates are scheduled on March the 7th, the 14th, and the 21st. And basically what it is using recipes written by submariners themselves, you can cook up a good time and a great meal at each session, taught by culinary experts as museum staff shares the history behind each recipe.
That sounds
which
pretty
I
cool.
thought was really neat. Tickets are now available. For more information, just follow the link down in our show notes.
So now, have you been on the submarine tour down at the Maritime Museum?
A long time ago, and my oldest was pretty small at that time, but
Yeah.
it's very cool.
It's a really interesting tour, and one of the things that I remember that stuck with me was when they were talking about the cooking that was done on board the submarine vessels, that there were some of the best trained cooks in the Navy.
Oh, really?
Who were on those vessels because the meals were apparently fantastic. Like they would come when they would leave, they were really well provisioned with everything and sort of kind of worked their way down through everything at the end. But I guess they had some really creative chefs that did that. So I bet this is really darn good.
It would be interesting too, and I wonder what kind of techniques they're going to use, if it's full-blown kitchen, or if it's like a little
hot plate.
sterno can and a hot plate.
Yeah, that's a good question. So in other news, the second annual Shamrocks for Shelter St. Paddy's Day celebration and beanbag tournament, I love that name, is going to be held on Saturday, March the 16th from 9:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. So full day of Shamarako-rama.
Shamaraka-rama?
I just made that up. If it wasn't obvious already. To be held at Knox's Silver Valley on South Alverno Road in Manitowoc.
Correct.
They're looking for 30 teams, 4 players each, to participate in the tournament. Registration is $200 per team, so this is serious stuff.
Right.
All the proceeds go directly to the Haven of Manitowoc County's men's homeless shelter. So you can follow the link down in the show notes for more information about that.
Sounds good. Looking at the city calendar, there's going to be a city council meeting on Monday, March 18th at 6 p.m. It's in City Hall, 3rd floor council chambers, and the agenda will be available online.
And the Triad meeting is going to be on Tuesday, March the 19th at 9 a.m. At the Two Rivers Police Department.
Correct.
What is Triad again?
That's for senior citizens, and they get together once a month over at the PD, and they talk about ways of keeping our senior citizens safe.
Oh, so it's a really important community safety program.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
That's great.
And then Two Rivers Biz Starts is going to be Thursday, April the 4th at 6 p.m. at the Leicester Public Library. And you've heard us talk about this topic before. It did need to be rescheduled from January because our weather was so crummy. But the topic is Networking to Win for Everyone with UW Green Bay Lecturer of Entrepreneurship, Ryan Kautz.
And Ryan is a really super engaging speaker. So it's excited to have him back. Longtime backer of Biz Starts. So I should note, Thursday, April the 4th is an unusual date to hold it. We usually hold them on the last Wednesday of each month, but Ryan's schedule didn't permit, and the library schedule didn't permit us to reschedule them until April the 4th.
Okay.
So we will not have an end of March meeting. We'll have a beginning of April meeting. So we'll be delayed by 1 week. Again, we'll not have an end of March meeting.
And hopefully this time it actually occurs and we don't have bad weather again.
Gosh, that would be swell.
Gosh golly gee. And what's going on at the Leicester Public Library?
Lots of things. So great things for adults, teens, and youth. On the adult side, we've got the Local History Alive program, the Civil War and the Old Soldier, Wednesday, March the 20th at 6 p.m. So you will have the opportunity to join the Civil War reenactor and researcher, Mark Gottstein. I always get that wrong. And retired professor of history, Patrick Gagnon, as they recount Two Rivers' participation in the Civil War and the eventual procurement and placement of the Old Soldier Monument, right?
I think that'll be very interesting because I know nothing about it. Yeah. Recurring events are Cool City Writers Club and Genealogy Club.
And the teen programs night, there's a Two Rivers Teen Night on Friday, March the 29th at 8 p.m.
And for youth programs, just recurring events such as Storytime, Jumpstart, and Evening One Step.
So if you want details on any of these things, we'll have a link to the Leicester Public Library down in the doobly-doo, and you can check it out there.
And we're going to break because Roger is outside.
Okay. So events at the Two Rivers Senior Center include the St. Patrick's Day celebration. That's going to be Friday, March the 15th at 11 a.m. And then there's also a bake sale on Tuesday, March the 19th. So get your sweet tooth on and go check that out. And the March birthday lunch, when everybody has a birthday.
Right.
For that month, which is a big party. That's awesome. On Wednesday, March the 20th at 11 a.m. So you can get your sweet tooth on there again.
Probably.
As well. Cake and ice cream. Be a good time. Okay. So that's what's going on at the Two Rivers Senior Center. And then what's going on with the Two Rivers Parks and Rec?
Well, backed by popular demand, Family Nerf War.
Yes.
And that's going to be Saturday, March the 16th from noon to 3 p.m. It's $5 per person. Bring a Nerf gun. The Nerf darts will be provided, and if you watched episode 8,
which was awesome.
Yeah, we had footage of Family Nerf War, so you can see some of the strategy and the tactics that some of these people employed, because
Just
they were deadly serious.
Full on mania. It was great.
It was.
Okay, and then pickleball.
I'll let you talk about pickleball.
Pickleball. Okay, pickleball will be held on several dates scheduled between now and April the 14th this year. And pickleball is a combination of, I've never heard of this before.
Me either.
Tennis, badminton, ping pong, played on a mini tennis court with what looks like oversized ping pong paddles and a wiffle ball. What?
I know.
Okay, that's interesting enough. So it's $20 for residents, $30 for non-residents of Two Rivers. All pickleball games are drop-in sessions, so you can just kind of drop by, get your pickleball on, and then just kind of get on out of town. Okay. So you must bring your own paddle, though. The ball is provided.
And I don't know where you'd even get a paddle.
No idea. I mean,
So,
like,
any questions, contact Two Rivers Parks and Rec and they can give you more information, but this is totally foreign to me.
Don't contact us about it because we have no clue beyond this. But
I'd like to find out where they came up with the name pickleball.
as would I. Maybe we'll get Kevin on the show sometime and ask him about
Okay,
it. Okay.
all right. The Washington House Museum and Visitor Center will be having a spaghetti dinner fundraiser on Monday, March 11th from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. It's going to be over at the Two Rivers Family Restaurant. So don't stay home and cook. Come on out for a great dinner and dessert too. And it's a great fundraising event for the Washington House.
It's a great cause, right? Supporting local history and the programs that the Washington House puts on. Yeah, excellent. And then finally, Two Rivers High School, a couple of things you should know about. Spring break, hugely important, is going to be Monday, March 11th through Friday, March the 15th. And beyond that, there's also going to be the Two Rivers High School Blood Drive on Wednesday, March the 20th. Always good to give. And Two Rivers High School and LBC.
L.B. Clark Middle School.
Oh, L.B. Clark Middle School. I see, you can tell I'm not.
That's
I
okay.
haven't been in the area long
I
enough.
got your back.
Band-O-Rama, which that sounds really fun. So Sunday, March 24th from noon until 5 p.m. The Two Rivers High School and L.B. Clark Band-O-Rama event. Get your band on.
We're getting everything on today.
Well, you know.
So
It's
that's
middle of winter, we gotta get something on because it's just, woo.
all of a sudden Barry White's going through my head.
Don't go there.
Oh no. So that's it for community calendar and for in the news. And we'll be back in just a second with Mr. Roger Russove of Main Street,
Who is in the house?
who is in the house, and so we will be we'll be interviewing him here in just 1 second. So stay tuned.
Be right back. And we are back. Welcome back, everybody. We have with us here Mr. Roger Russove, Director of the Two Rivers Main Street Program for the Main Street Minute. Welcome back.
Thank you. Welcome. Thanks for having me back again. Appreciate it.
Of course, glad for the support. So tell us a little bit about what's going on in the world of Main Street.
Well, the first thing I'd like to talk about is a couple of businesses. One that's opening March 9th, and that is El Toro, the new restaurant where the locals know as M&M for a long time past.
Just up the street, right?
Yes, yes. And despite its name, it is not just going to be a Mexican restaurant.
Okay.
While they will have Mexican food, they're also going to offer steak, seafood. They will be open at 5 a.m. daily for breakfast.
Really?
Yes.
That's exciting.
Yes.
Okay.
And they're also going to do some later night hours. They're talking 11 o'clock, maybe 1 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays to get the later night crowd. People that are leaving, abandoned a bar or something like that. And
Sure.
a lot of remodeling done to the place. I think people will not recognize it when they go in there the first time.
Really? That's exciting.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And it's a young gentleman that grew up in the Chicago area and moved up here and lived in Manitowoc with his grandparents for a while and owns a house in Two Rivers and has had a long time dream of opening a restaurant.
Okay.
And this opportunity came up and he took advantage of it and he's got a great plan in place and I'm looking forward to him opening and see what happens with that.
It's great to hear. Can't wait to see what's on the menu. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm really surprised to hear that he's going to have breakfast. Everybody has been clamoring for a place that serves breakfast.
right.
Absolutely. We lost obviously M&M, which was right in downtown, and we've been kind of lacking that for a while. Of course, we have the Lighthouse Inn on the edge of downtown that serves breakfast and does a great job at it, but something a little more diner style, I guess, is what we're going to see for breakfast there. And it's something that people have wanted downtown, and I think it's great that he's going to fill that need.
Well, that's great. That's great. Well, we'll be sure to welcome him to the neighborhood by dropping in for breakfast sometime soon.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Terrific. Or lunch or dinner.
Or lunch or dinner, right?
Yes. And I'd also like to mention the most recently known as Cool City Bar, targeting around the 12th of March to reopen as the Dock.
The Dock.
The Dock.
Okay.
D-O-C-K.
Okay.
I don't know a lot about menu yet, but he's been talking about higher end hamburgers. He's going to bring back, if anybody remembers, the flatbread pizzas they had there when it was Schwartz's Pub and Grill.
Those were super popular.
And those are coming back.
Great.
Yes.
Great. Okay.
Yes, he has just been finalizing his staffing and everything and should be ready to open basically a week from tomorrow is what I understand the plan is. And we're looking forward to that.
So we have not just one, but 2 new restaurants opening in March.
Yes,
That's amazing.
yes,
That's
within
great.
days of each other.
Great.
Yes,
Wow.
yes, and they're both located in such in places that when the new hotel comes next spring, these are going to be restaurants that are going to be able to serve the hotel guests very well. And that's one of the reasons the hotel is not going to have a restaurant there. It is because there are so many restaurants surrounding that hotel location that it'll be good for both businesses. I mean, all the restaurants in that area will feed off the hotel, and it'll help all of them business-wise too.
I really like the convergence of these businesses starting at once. That's going to really help all of them to be more successful, and will bring some good economic tourism dollars, hopefully, into the city as well. So,
Absolutely, absolutely. We're looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a good thing.
very good. Very good. Anything else going on?
Well, I talked a little bit at the last time we got together about some of the upcoming events. I talked a lot about the art in Central Park.
Sure.
But what I'd like to talk about a little bit today, again, is ice cream. And every day is Sunday week.
Tell me more.
We have another meeting coming up, but one of the things that a couple of the committee members have been working very hard on is connecting with breweries and ice cream companies. And we've had some very good successes at that. We actually ran into one situation where there's a brewery and an ice cream company that have worked together before.
Really?
Yes,
Really? You're right out of town.
Rollins Brewery in Chilton and
Okay.
Scoops in Chilton. And
Oh,
they've done some
pretty.
things before where Rollins has done ice cream flavored beers.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
and
I sounded very excited about that, right?
I know. Ice cream flavored beer?
yes. And well, there is a brewery in Wisconsin that makes a Neapolitan beer.
Really?
I don't remember who it is now, but it might be Mobcraft in Milwaukee. And I've had it before, and you get little touches of chocolate and vanilla and strawberry, just like the old
Really?
striped Neapolitan ice cream. It's very
Sure.
similar to that.
Right.
And although we weren't necessarily expecting Rollins to participate in this, when one of the committee members reached out to Scoop said, "Hey, we've worked with them before, and you know what? If we could do that again, that would be great." So we're gathering ice cream, we're gathering beer.
my
We're
gosh.
continuing to build a list of people that make ice cream at home to do the competition on Saturday, and this event I think is shaping up to be a pretty good event for downtown Two Rivers in June.
That sounds off the hook.
Yeah. And
Really
the
good.
beer and ice cream thing will be on Friday night, June 14th. We have Conscious Pilot playing in the. No, let me test my memory. Is that one Conscious Pilot? No, I don't remember the band now. we have live music in the park on that Friday night.
We'll have a link to the
Yes, to the website. Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm confusing the car show and the ice cream event.
Gotcha.
And that's when the beer and ice cream thing will be. Then on Saturday, we'll have individuals that make ice cream at home enter a competition. People will pay a small amount of money to sample all of those ice creams and vote for their favorites, and we'll have prizes for the winners of that.
Okay.
Nice.
There'll probably be 30 or so different ice creams for people to sample at that event on Saturday. We're going to do an ice cream sundae building contest on Saturday. It is going to be a celebration of the fact that Two Rivers is, sorry Ithaca, New York, the birthplace of the ice cream sundae.
Too bad, Ithaca. There's no Ithaca talks, I bet.
No.
It was time to call them out. Maybe I'll email the link to their tourism
Oh,
bureau.
Love it. I love it. If there is an Ithaca Talks video podcast, it's on. So you step it up, boys.
We
Yeah.
already won.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Why expend the energy all over
Not
again?
above rubbing their noses in their ice cream.
This is true. I'd rather enjoy doing that.
By the decree of the U.S. Postal Service, Two
That's
Rivers
right.
is the birthplace of the ice cream sundae.
That's right. That's right. The Creo, I like it.
Well,
Lords of the Postal Service.
I have pictures.
Okay, excellent. That's great, Roger. We're definitely excited about the event and looking forward to that and all the other things that are going on as well.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting summer in Two Rivers. Absolutely, with that as a new event, and the soccer tournament on the beach is brand new, and there's a great lineup of concerts set up for the beach and in the park on Thursday nights. This is going to be a summer to remember, I think, in Two Rivers.
I think that's the theme right there.
Right.
So,
And are we pretty much booked up for the pavilion this summer as far as bands, or is there still space for bands to come and perform? Or?
There are I believe 7 concert events booked at the pavilion. Most of them on Sunday late afternoon, early evenings.
Okay.
The exceptions, I believe there's one booked on the 5th of July and that Friday after the 4th, because a lot of people will be off work. And then the Friday night, June 28th, the Friday night of the car cruise. No, excuse me, Saturday night of the car show. On the 29th, there's live music from 4 to 7:30 at the beach.
Okay.
Right after the car show ends. We're going to encourage people from the car show to come down there.
Got it.
But there are dates that the pavilion is not booked, and if anybody has an interest in just bringing the band down there for a few hours, they're more than welcome to book the pavilion or do that. It's very low cost, and I think for a band that's just looking to get some exposure and somebody who wants to work with them, I think that would be a great opportunity.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Roger, thanks again for coming down to join us. If somebody wants to learn more about the events, they can go to the Two Rivers Main Street website. They can check their inserts in the utility bill. Right?
Yes.
Or you can stay tuned to us here on Two Rivers Talks, and we'll keep you up to date on the latest.
Absolutely. Thank you again.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Roger. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Darla. I'm from Basil Ishkabibble's Art Gallery. We're over here at Two Rivers Pub, and tonight, Four Shades of Grey is playing, and they're pretty phenomenal.
You gotta change your evil ways, baby. Before I stop loving you, you gotta change, baby. And every word that I say is true. You got me running, fighting, and rolling around. You got somebody that won't make me feel like a clown. Just keep going.
just wanted to know if you guys are enjoying yourself.
Oh yeah, I came out today because my brother started a band.
Oh, Jerry, yeah.
Yeah, that's my brother.
Well, I picked the right city. I had no idea. Awesome.
They are. Yesterday I think come over here and check out his band.
Private places.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Accordion and everything, we can play it all.
Now, is it your whole family?
Both of us play instruments. Pretty great.
2, 3, 4.
For everybody who's watching, hi.
My Facebook Live.
For everybody who's watching,
Yeah,
come
right?
on down to Two Rivers Pub.
He's wanted, don't get him.
It's going to be a recurring type of thing. And it's a great crowd of people, a lot of nice people. Two Rivers Pub is really turned into a place to be. So enjoy the music, enjoy the band. We'll enjoy the drinks for you. So, all right, see you on the street, Two Rivers.
So welcome back. We are here with Mr. Jason Prigge, who is the creator of The Coolest Coast,
The mastermind.
the mastermind, yeah, the evil genius, and
Using his powers for good, of course.
okay, good instead of evil. And I've got to tell you, I really enjoy your episodes.
Thank you.
They're
Thanks.
really diverse, and you highlight a lot of really spectacular places in the area.
Thank you.
And you seem to get there on the most perfect day. So
Yeah, I can't take credit for the Coolest Coast. That's that the whole thing came about out of frustration and a little bit of anger. So as a lot of good ideas come about, that's how it happened. And my wife and I were partners in a business, and I went to visit a client. I was doing some videos for a client. That's what our business does. We're marketing videos and all that other stuff. But I just met this guy via Skype, and I had only emailed with him and talked on the phone. And I get off the plane, and we shake hands, and first thing he asked me is, did he do it? And I immediately just felt this just frustration well up inside of me. Like, that's what our area is known for, isn't it? So outside, and the more I travel around outside of our bubble of Manitowoc County, the Netflix series is like on everybody's mind, and nobody wants to talk about it inside the county. We're like, well, but we have an image problem, right? So how do you solve an image problem? What tools do I have? I have a video camera and some creative ideas, and so what you do is you put your money where your mouth is, and I want to make positive change, so we just started doing these videos. I came up with this little hashtag, and it's taken off from there. We just surpassed 250,000 views on Facebook.
really,
So that's a good thing, and people seem to get into it. So because it's all about positivity. I don't discuss politics with it. I don't care about if he did it or not. That's not my problem. I love where I live. I don't know about you guys, but this is the best place on the face of the earth.
You're here, man.
And that's all we're trying to promote with the Coolest Coast.
Well, and I think, you were doing what you're doing long before we started doing the Two Rivers Talks things, but I think it was born out of, we kind of exchanged a
same
look.
thing.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of that frustration about, like, there's a lot of cynicism around here.
Yeah.
And, the did he do it things, and I really, I think our hope is we can move the needle a little bit about, our little corner of Manitowoc County, the Two Rivers area, and sort of what's happening here. So in some ways, you're an inspiration for us, and we definitely appreciate that point of view.
Well, I appreciate what you guys are doing too, because it takes so many people. I get sick and tired of just hearing people talk about making change instead of actually making change. And we don't make anything off the Coolest Coast. We have one little sponsor, and it's really a little sponsor. It doesn't cover anything. But putting our resources behind it will hopefully spur others to put their resources behind it. And now I'm sitting here talking to you, and hopefully somebody else will. And it's all together as a community. That's how we build the community up. And I applaud what you guys are doing as well.
well, thank you. Well, we felt like we had to, because nobody, well, besides Coolest Coast, but you got all of Manitowoc County, but Two Rivers there was just a lot of negativity here, and it's like, well, if we don't start trumpeting all the good things that are happening in this community, nobody else is.
Right.
And it's like, so this is kind of a way also to combat some of the negative vibes that have kind of permeated our existence here.
Right.
But we've gotten really good feedback from the community, and
The response has been great.
it really has. And if we can bring a little levity into people's lives and let them know exactly what's going on, because you have to go, just getting all the information together is very time consuming, because you have to go to all these different Facebook pages, and you have to read through the different newspapers, and to try and glean everything that's Two Rivers. There isn't just a one-stop shopping type of thing. But that's kind of what we are trying to do, is to give the community all the information we possibly can, as to here's what's good about your community, enjoy it, take advantage of it. And
yeah, it's needed. There's a niche, right? So public access used to be a thing back when I was a kid. When I was in high school, we had a public access sketch comedy show. We pretty much ripped off Monty Python the whole time.
Did you really?
Yeah, but that's when I started editing stuff, was back then. And now there's a niche, because at least in Manitowoc, the cable access is gone. So there's no shows like what we're doing anymore that people have access to. So if grandma's in a nursing home and she wants to know what's going on in the community, it's very difficult, especially if she's not on Facebook. And that's why we started a website, and I know you guys are on YouTube. We just started YouTube as well. Just trying to get the feelers out there and get the message out, And I always tell people, I like to stand on the corner and be like the town crier, back in the day, extra, read all about it. There's so many cool things in Manitowoc. So it's filling a void as well. And Manitowoc is, in a lot of ways, Manitowoc County is set apart from the rest of the communities on the Highway 43 corridor. We're like kind of in this middle mix of, we're not really close to Green Bay like some of the communities are. We're not really close to Milwaukee, so we have to make our own way and get people to come off the highway, which was easier when 42 ran right through town here. That was the main thoroughfare to Door County. But when the tourists come through, hey, guess what? Manitowoc is so much more than what you've heard of. We've got amazing things here. We've got the car ferry. We've got Two Rivers, Nashotah Beach here, which is, by the way, is one of our top viewed episodes.
Is it?
In Nashotah Beach. People love that beach. It's like,
It's a glorious beach.
it's a glorious beach. Two Rivers is a beach community, and people need to embrace that tourism that is natural there, coming off the highway. And hopefully you're shouting, my shouting, and together with the community, there's a lot of great people that are trying to do great things. We share a mutual friend with Raleigh Point, and Jeff Sachi. He's trying to get people in as well, and Greg and Justin, they're all trying to get people in. So that's important, but I think it takes a community. It takes normal citizens, regular people, changing their mindset to a positive mindset instead of a woe is me mindset. And I give talks, at conferences and stuff, and I've been accused of being a motivational speaker because I get so excited about it. Because you can really change the perception of a community by changing yourself and your attitude about that community.
Right.
So.
And I think one of the things that we've tried to bring, and I see you doing this as well. I mean, you look at those bright spots within the community that I think if you've maybe lived here for a super long time, you get blinders on to a certain extent about like, oh yeah, well of course we've got Nashotah Beach. I mean, people love it, but then it sort of becomes less shiny to them over time.
Yeah.
So if you can kind of help it stand out a little bit more and kind of show why it's great and help people externally become aware of it, I mean, I think that's a great service. That's one of the best things we can provide. And something else you said, I mean, I think the whole idea of the individual stepping up and doing things for the community, it feels to us, and I know there's a lot going on with, say, Vision 22, and some of the things we're trying to do here within Two Rivers. It feels like almost sort of a renaissance of people trying to sort of change that equation for the county a little bit, and some of the positive changes here. We're excited about the Cobblestone Hotel coming in, 2 new restaurants opening up next month. We just heard from Roger Russove from Two Rivers Main Street. Cool. There's a lot to be excited about with what's happening.
Yeah, and you guys are doing great things here too, with the Light Up the Lakeshore events, and trying to get that business into town. That's what's really going to make the difference. When Hamilton is gone, and you hear all these rumblings. And in Manitowoc, it's Miro, and it's Manitowoc Company, the namesake has left the building, we're dead in the water. And that's not true at all. Look at all the things that we can use as assets to grow the community. And it's just a sea change, it's just a shift in thinking. And when we get there, we'll get there. And I see it happening, like you said, Todd. It's just there's like a renaissance of creativity involved too with it, and super cool people coming up, stepping up to the plate, and taking a swing at economic development around here. So it's cool.
So Jason, talk to us a little bit about your other creative work. You run Vagabond Creative.
Right. So yeah, I'm originally from Sheboygan, and I was an artist for many years. I've been a lot of different things. I've had several businesses, including a restaurant, and about 15 years ago, I started becoming really serious about painting. I taught myself design. In high school, I was the kid always on theater and the AV kid, so I was in the editing VHS tape, like I was mentioned before, stuff like that. And when I moved to Manitowoc, I fell in love with the area and a young lady from Manitowoc, so I married her. We've been married for a long time now. We'll be celebrating when we first met 18 years ago. Holy cow. So I moved shortly up here shortly after that. But I opened up a Vagabond Creative Studio and Vagabond Gallery in Manitowoc. So my gallery's on 24th and Franklin. And unfortunately, it's hard to heat in the winter, so I don't have many shows there. In the summertime, we have some shows slated, but it's just really just a big garage. And so I had my office in the back of that gallery. And now I've moved to 9th and Franklin in downtown Manitowoc. And we're a small advertising house. So growing up in Sheboygan, I used to hang out in the layout room of Jacobson Ross Advertising. And we have our hats in a lot of different things. Video is a big thing for us. We do websites, marketing strategy, social media strategies, huge right now. Full graphic design, all that. We've got about 3 employees, and I subcontract a lot of work out. But it's all about the creative stuff. So that's always been my bailiwick, always doing creative stuff. And so I thought that was a perfect fit. So this business now, we're about 4 years young, and we're doing all right. The ups and downs of starting a business. Yep. But especially that type of creative business in a small town gets frustrating because a lot of my clients are from out of town. And I'm trying to tell people what we do in town. And the Coolest Coast has actually been a nice window for people to look into and say, oh, you guys do that. This is professional video stuff that you see in other places of the country. So it's really helped us out with that, and we're just happy to be here. I mean, I'm so grateful to be alive today. I'm so grateful to be living in, Manitowoc County today. I'm not even kidding. People ask, they say, well, why are you doing today? This is the best darn day of my life, and I'll tell you why, because I live in the best place. I have the best wife, I have an awesome son, and I'm actually, I have a business in Manitowoc County, which is a great place to do business with what we're trying to, sorry, I get a little preachy. I'm on a little stage right now, so
we're part of the choir. Yeah, no, totally agree. And I think there's so much potential. I know I moved here within the past 2 years. Darla is.
I've been here since 1990.
Wow.
I only expected to be here for 2 years, 3 years tops.
Yeah.
And I never left.
That's cool.
So yeah.
But I've been astounded as a newcomer to the area. Like, why is there not more business here? Why is this place not exploding with corporate offices wanting to move in and have a great place on the lakeshore where the cost of real estate is low, where the cost of running a business is low, all the beautiful natural resources in the area. I mean, as you said, I could get super excited and kind of run along with you, yelling with my hands in the air about the awesomeness. But it's true. There's so much to recommend this place, and I think great things in the future. And speaking of the future, what's coming up for Coolest Coast? What are you excited about?
Well, I'm excited about our website. So we started this website, and we're going to start harvesting events off of other places and putting them on our website. As we grow, we started a new thing called Made in Manti, which is focusing on manufacturing, which I'm really excited about because these manufacturers that we have around here are like world class and people don't even know it. I just went to MTM. They're going to be my first one the other day and shot some B-roll and did an interview, and oh my goodness, what they're doing over there is amazing, but everybody drives by it, nobody knows. And what the need is that I hear from my friends who have businesses and from leaders in the community is human resources, right? So we want to promote human resources. We're going to have people actually put their manufacturing job listings and links on the post of the video that I put out so that they can try and get good people. I mean, over at MTM, they have you can work there on the weekends. And get money. I mean, it's just amazing how flexible they are, and they have a great culture. So we want to focus in on those area manufacturers and anybody else who's doing and making cool stuff. Made in Manti, for my, as far as I'm concerned, could be Schrader Brothers or Bernstein's Confectionery. All great stuff that people are doing in Manitowoc to manufacture and do great work here. So Made in Manti, I'm really excited about. And of course, we're going to continue our Coolest Coast Lifestyle, which is our short little, fun little documentary style things. They're usually 5 to 10 minutes long. And then I have Coffee on the Coast. So not unlike you guys, I try to bring in people that are doing events, a lot of nonprofits, talking with the mayor, talking with people like that have things to promote. So Coffee on the Coast is great. And before I get too much on my plate, I just need to settle back and look at the whole thing, because I'm the type of guy that is like, okay, let's do this. But I really want to do it all well. And so our website I'm very, very excited about. And we're approaching 2,000 followers on Facebook, which is a really great landmark. I mean, it may not seem much to somebody in New York City, but around here, that's a really great thing. Yeah. We have a lot, and more than that, we have a lot of good sharing and interaction with our content. So I'm excited for the future of the Lakeshore and the Coolest Coast.
How many episodes of what did you call it? Coffee on the Coast?
Coffee on the Coast. Boy, I started out doing longer format episode, which was maybe 4 or 5 guests. Then I just said, okay, this is really hard to schedule. When you can come in, and then I'll just shoot that episode off. I'll just.
Right.
So I think I've got maybe 10 or 15 now.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure. I haven't been keeping track. But I just try to do them as they come along and have fun with them. And people like the Manitowoc Public Library. I had Jeff Dawson in from the Leicester Public Library. Greg Buckley was in giving a report a couple weeks back. People who just aren't trying to promote a product, but promote the way of life, or promote their nonprofit. We have so many cool nonprofits, from Big Brothers Big Sisters, Manitowoc County. You guys know them all. The Humane Society. I mean, there's so many cool, and people don't know how to get in touch with these people or volunteer with these people. Or I heard they had a broad fry and it was last week.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So we try to get ahead of that and promote them. So if you have any events, give me a call. lmcoolestcoast@gmail.com and drop me a line and we can get you on the show.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Now, here's a good question for you. As far as your Coolest Coast, what is your favorite segment? What did you have the most fun with?
This is an evil question, because it's sort of like, which of your children do you love the most?
Right,
Yeah.
right. It's totally like that. But I do actually have a favorite. And when you're an artist or when you're a creator, there's the moment of creation. There's the inspiration, right? There's a thing that kicks off the whole thing. You learn how to do a brush stroke different, or you chunked off a piece of the ice sculpture and it worked out, and it was just like you were taken out of the process, right? And that was the first Coolest Coast video I ever did. I just had a wild hair, and I took my intern at the time, Sam, and this camera we had. I said, we're going to greet the badger. Let's go and get some footage of the badger coming in. And we had just started the Coolest Coast hashtag a few months before, and we were just posting pictures, and here's a fun little picture of the City Hall or something like that. But we took the camera out, and as I was filming, he was filming me, the badger was coming in behind me. And I started talking about the badger. We did a little research before, and I've been on the badger several times. And I love the car ferry, the historical significance of that and the maritime tradition, all that stuff. But as it was coming in behind me, the whistle blew. It went, and then I was like, woo, there it is, blah, blah, blah. And I was just filled with so much excitement. And then when I cut the episode, which I didn't know what I was going to do with that content, at the time I thought, you know what, this is a really cool thing. Why don't we go out and do this with all the other stuff? And so I came up with a list, and we had 175 different episodes planned.
Oh my gosh.
So, I mean, that's how much cool stuff is in Manitowoc County. So that one is my favorite. Sorry, long story,
it's a
short
great story.
answer.
Awesome.
But that moment of, it's like, wow, I can do this, and this is how I can contribute to our community in a positive way. Holy cow! And it's fun, and it's something I love. So why not do it?
It's almost like an epiphany.
Yes.
Because we had episode 0 where we were just kind of
We just riffed.
messing around,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
I had the radio going, so I've got, I'm breaking all these rules.
It was very low tech.
It was really low tech. But the thing is, it worked,
Yeah.
and it was like, we have got to do more of these. It was just one of those moments where it was like, yeah, I think this is going to work out just fine.
Yeah, and you guys
So-
are doing a great job.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I watch every episode.
Do you?
Yeah, I like Dean's at the beginning.
Oh,
with the caricatures.
Yeah.
I've known Dean for several years. He's awesome.
You did an amazing job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Jason, we're going to include links in the doobly-doo about
Doobly-doo.
about all of our.
Yeah. That's the tech term.
How to follow you on Facebook, how to follow you on
Yeah.
YouTube, and we hope you'll come back again.
Oh, sure.
We are very fortunate to have your excitement and talent that you're bringing to Manitowoc County and Two Rivers, and we really appreciate all that you do.
And we'll reciprocate. You guys have to come on to Coffee on the Coast.
Oh, that would be
Yeah,
awesome.
it's awesome. It's so
Thanks a
nice.
lot.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for having me.
Thank you.
All right, good job.
I appreciate it. And that wraps it up for this episode. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again.
See you on the streets.
Bye-bye.